We do have one of those. Look at that, 84%. We don't have to buy one of those, so it's money saved there. Hi guys, Firmbie with you, and welcome to a 15-minute makeover here in Car Mechanic. It's great to have your company. Now if this is your first time here, then don't forget to click on that subscribe button and the bell notification just so you don't miss out on any future content. Now as I was saying, it is a 15-minute makeover series. It's a series where we've got 15 minutes to do a makeover on any of these cars here in Car Mechanic. So let's get into it. Let's look at this Bentley T series, and magic number today is 51%. So I went ahead and just sprayed it with factory colours. You've seen me do that quite a number of times, so I won't show you that one, but these are going to be a lot more difficult to find. A lot of running gear problems, as you can see. Loud when accelerating, there are exhaust components there, and find and fix gearbox problems. So we might pop the girl straight up in the air and look at the gearbox and the exhaust system, and straight away we can see the exhaust system. Parts of that need to come out fairly quickly, so hopefully we can reach all these parts from here. I wouldn't be not surprised. Yeah, as I thought, that exhaust manifold needs to come out on that side. Well, let's see if we can come over on this side. No, that side looks alright, so we're going to have to drop the car down to get that manifold out. Let's see whether there's any exhaust components down this end that need a bit of love and attention. Not too obvious down here, but some of that control arm probably needs to come out. In fact, that rear drive axle may need some love as well. Shock absorber looks a bit crappy, so got some suspension arms that look a bit ordinary too, so they will probably need to come out as well. So let's get the old girl down and get that exhaust manifold off while we think of it. That was on this side. We've got 8 bolts there on the exhaust manifold. Comes off quite easily, like so, and that should have found all the components, and it has. There's only 3 components that need some love in there. Excuse me. Gearbox, that's the other thing we were going to do, wasn't it? As I was saying, this is a 15-minute makeover, so if you do enjoy my Car Mechanic there, guys, go and check out the other episodes over on the channel there. Most of the cars are represented over on the channel there, whether it's the 15-minute makeover or full restorations, depending on what your preference is. So go and check them out. Love to hear from you. Just whack a comment down. That'd be awesome if you're able to do that. Helps a bunch on the channel. And now that we've got that drive shaft out, we should better get this gearbox out and get to those clutch components that urgently need some loving. That pressure plate wasn't. That clutch release bearing was certainly knackered, but this pressure plate should be okay. Let's see what is 56%, so he should be okay. Pressure plate, clutch plate rather, 25%. He's going to need some love, as well as his flywheel. I can tell straight up. Yep, he's only at 22%, so that flywheel will probably need to be replaced. We're able to look at that, find and fix gearbox repairs, and we have found those particular components. We've found those now. Find and fix running gear problems. So a whole list of running gear problems. So generally that associates to suspension parts, suspension components. As you can see, there's these shockies there. Gonna need some loving. That sway bar should be okay, but this bottom suspension arm will need to come out. And what do we need to do to take that out? That won't allow us to take that out, will it? We need to probably take that off. Come off, you little critter. Which should allow us, yeah, to take that suspension arm off. Now, I'm wondering why that sway bar is not any good either. 57, no, he's going to be fine. So all I did there is, as you can see, they jumped over to the examination mode there by pressing the number 3 key, and by clicking your right mouse button, examines the particular components. They can do that to any component, as you can see right across the car. But we're looking for components that are less than 51%, and that's our magic number, as I said. And so we'll come over to this other quarter here and see what suspension components are going to need some love. We might even do the same thing. No, we can't do that. Can we do it to that one? Yes. Disassemble. Sway bar. We know you've got to come out, so that we're able to get to that bottom suspension arm, and so do these shocky components. Now we can get to that bottom suspension arm. Nothing too obvious. Yep, we have made a start on finding those suspension components. So the running gear components, as I said, generally they're related to the suspension. So we'll see what's down the back here. Ugh, not looking too pretty, is it? Yeah, that one there. That should be fine. 59%. Okay, that's U-bolt's going to need some love as well. So we'll get those components off while we're here, and that'll certainly add to the parts that we need to find to find all these parts to get them off and repair. A lot of these we should be able to repair up. If we can't repair them, then we may actually need to have spares in the inventory. So what I'll do is get all these parts off and bring you back after I've taken all these parts off, and we can look at getting these repaired up. So I'll see you in a moment. Okay, welcome back, guys. I did actually need to take quite a lot of the parts off the rear end there. The rear drive axle was one of the parts we were looking for, and so we had to take all the springs and the shockies off to obviously to get to that. So sorting by condition, as we always do, and let's see what we need to find. Now a lot of these parts I can actually, we'll go over to the repairers and see how many of these we can actually repair up. But a lot of these parts I may actually have in the inventory from a number of trips to the strippers. So we'll just go ahead and repair these and see if we can't repair them up to our 51%. Okay, there's a couple that repaired up, and that one's at 52 obviously, so that exceeds what we're looking for. So back to our inventory, and a number of parts obviously going to need some love. Exhaust manifold for T-Series, so let's see whether we've got one of those. Exhaust manifold for T-Series, we do not. Off to our tablet and to our exhaust. Exhaust manifold for a T-Series. And you could probably see it, no I can't. See how we go there. Exhaust manifold for T-Series, that's the one we want. Back to our inventory, brand new one there, and that's the old one of course. Front exhaust section for T-Series. Tablet. Move it if we go front exhaust for T-Series. Front exhaust section for T-Series, there we go. Out of there. This bottom suspension arm, I don't know whether we had any of those in our inventory or not. Oh, we do, we've got quite a number of them. So let's just get rid of the old one, we don't need him. And yeah, we'll just use one of these good ones, maybe a 68% when we go to put it back in. Core spring, this is the one we actually had to take out from the rear, the core spring rear drive axle. Let's try coil. We do have one of those. Look at that, 84%. And we don't have to buy one of those, so it's money saved there. So I'll go ahead and repair or replace these remaining ones, and I'll bring you back when we're in a position to put them back in. Okay, so off camera I just went and repaired those, I'll replace those, beg your pardon, those that I could replace, and went and purchased those parts that I need to purchase. So now I'm in a position to get all these parts back in and end off this repair. So we'll start down the rear here. 60%, yeah, that's fine. Just making sure these parts I put in exceeds the required percentage value. So you do need to keep in mind what your magic number is, what your repair value needs to be. So I'm just being mindful of the parts I actually put back in. Obviously here's that rubber bush was 55%, but our repair value we only needed to be at 51. So I'm just using these lower valued parts first, just in case we have an excess amount of those parts laying around in our inventory. So again, a trip over to the strippers does become beneficial when you start looking at these parts that you only need a smaller value for. These brake calipers were all fine, so we just had to get all those off so we get to that rear axle. Making sure we've got these U-bolts on, and we're in a position to put the wheel on this side, and we can go over to that rear quarter and get him on as well. What else have we got over here? Quite a lot of things. That solid rear solid axle control. We can use that one. Looking a bit daggy, but that's going to be fine. We actually had to buy brand new rubber bushes from memory because that one was absolutely knackered. He's at 53%, so he's going to be fine. Spring caps 56. So let's use an old one on that one. Oh, I forgot to get a spring, did I? What's it, a rear spring, isn't it? Let's go to our tablets and simply type in rear, and it should come up with a rear spring. Easy as. Get him in there. 55%, he's going to be fine. 58%, he's going to be fine. U-bolt at 52, it only just comes in, but we'll use him anyway. We'll probably start into the better U-bolts there. But again, if they only require the 51% and you've got one at 52, well, use it, save you some money. And at this stage, we actually need quite a decent amount of money, to be honest. I was just looking at the purchasing another car park in the garage, and it's about 200,000 bucks off the top of my head, and obviously we're only looking at 71 at the moment, 71,000. So we've got a little bit of work to do before we purchase another parking slot in the garage. I wonder if I can reach that middle muffler. I can. And we should. Why can't we get to that drive shaft? Because we haven't got the gearbox in, that's why. That'll do it every time. Okay, well, let's get those gearbox components in while we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts on that one. It's simply done like so. The clutch release bearing on top of that. Here's at 55. He's going to be fine, and once that's in, we should be able to get this drive shaft mounted up. I wonder if I can reach it from here. Of course not. I'll just reposition the camera. Go to assemble drive shaft. Oh, I grabbed the brand new one, didn't I? Escape. Let's try that again. What I was alluding to is obviously we've got two drive shafts here, one at 55%, one at 80%. Well, why not save your better one for another repair? So we only want a minimum of 51% repair value, so we'll use this one, and it will satisfy this particular job. So, and as I said, save us some money. There's a drive shaft, and we should be able to start on these suspension components. We'll get to that exhaust manifold obviously when we can. Oh, I thought I might have had some bottom suspension arms that are of a lower value, but they're all brand new ones, so we'll just put a brand new one of the suspension arm there. And a shock absorber, he's going to be fine. Hopefully I bought enough of these front springs. And I think I have 52%. He's just going to meet our repair value. Just spinning around. Oh, I can reach that front exhaust section. Look at that. Let's get this tyre on, and we should be able to spin around to the other side and get the remainder of the components over on the other side. Now guaranteed, like all repairs, I do tend to forget bits, so... Aha! Oh, I haven't forgotten the starter. I've forgotten that on a number of occasions, haven't I? It's either the starter or or forget to put the oil back in, so... Yeah, this time, not so lucky, guys. You didn't see me forget not forget the starter at least. I may well forget another part. Time will tell, but... Oh, sure. Oh, I wasn't too sure whether I actually bought enough springs, but obviously I may have. Let's see what we've got remaining. Exhaust manifold that we spoke about. So we just lower the old girl, and we should be getting very, very close to completing this repair. Which side was that on? That was on this side. That was a good guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts that we do up, and that should well and truly do. Let's have a quick look through them. Find and fix the running gear problems. Green lights across the board. So that was the majority of the parts that we needed to find. Car was loud. Of course, it's the exhaust components there. We found those. Gearbox we smashed out fairly easily, and spray in factory colours I did before you joined me. So, and they're all up to our magic number of 51%. So gives us a total earned of $4,639. Alright guys, thank you very much for your company. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to it in the next one.